Three underrated tools, actually marketing channels, I should say, that are going to help you grow your business. Welcome to the Real Estate Marketing and Coffee live show where anything can happen, including messing up, even at the beginning, or having hiccups like Amanda has today. Welcome to those who are joining us. Be sure to say hello, even on the replay. If you're listening to us on podcasts or anywhere else, feel free to reach out to us on social anytime. We'd love to see and hear from you. And if you're new around here today, we are talking about the 3 underrated marketing channels. We do a live show every Monday at 8 a.m. right here on Facebook and LinkedIn. And then you can find us in other places afterwards. In fact, we now have a link for you in the description that will allow you to go to our show page so you can learn more about the show, as well as if you want to be a guest, maybe we're going to have some guest experts coming on. Yes, which I'm excited about here in the coming weeks. And then also you can find us on social. So Amanda, what are we going to talk about for number one? We're just going to dive right in and just give it to them because we want to make sure that people stick around for all 3 plus a bonus one.
Bonus one. Yeah. So number one is blogging. And I know a lot of people, this is somewhat outdated, some people think. And I actually really think it's coming back. I've been seeing, especially in the real estate space, a lot more gears. Oh, hi. We have friends here.
We do. I'm throwing Amanda off right there.
Well, it popped up in my viewpoint, but for blogging, I've seen a lot come back in the real estate space. Because it does get that Google traction, right? So if you search my name and I've been blogging, my name's going to come up a lot more because I have all of these posts, that are related to the real estate market. And so that's obviously going to be information that I'm passing along to possible buyers or sellers, or really just anyone that's interested in info on the market. And it's a really great way to get your name out there, really test your knowledge of the market. And just an added touch, right? You can send it to your people. You can send it to post it on Facebook. There's a lot of different ways that you can repurpose blogging.
Yes. And we have to remember too, is that blogging, even if it is one of the older channels and many of us maybe aren't using it or have changed how we use it, you can still use it today for, like Amanda said, that Google search. And we have to think about what's the long game here. And we talk about video, and we'll get more into that here in a second that you can tie in. But it's always coming back to Google. When people are having a trouble with something, they're going to Google. They're going to be searching for XYZ. Yeah. And so it's not like your Facebook page or your Instagram account or TikTok video where they're going to be searching for that video or that post on Google. No, because they don't even know you and they don't know that you're on those social channels. And they're probably not thinking about going to those social channels right away to solve that problem. So it's important to keep your name out there through the blogging sphere. Man, I can't talk today.
Well, I think too with blogging, like we have this, maybe this is what makes it old, is this older idea of what blogging is. And it's these wordy, lengthy, all the information, data. And I think now with a lot of the increases that we've seen in technology, blogging has really pivoted. Like we're really seeing our world in this information overload, right? You can get anything at your fingertips. Literally prior to going live, I'm Googling how to get rid of hiccups quick, right? Like anything I want is at my fingertips now, which is great. And because we have so much information, it's allowed for a space where we don't have to give all the information anymore. We can give short snippets. And so blogging can be as simple as what your newsletter sends out. You really quickly can come up with, hey, here's the 5 things you should be doing to prep your home in the spring. And that's a blog post, right? It's value. It gives people information that they might be searching for. And you get to be the local expert because of these things. So, and that's really the big win, right? Is getting your name out there so that when people think real estate or whatever your industry, when people think cars, when people think lawyers, they think you. Why? Because you're providing that value.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to talk more about that. So stick around because that's a big one. A live question that came in is, how do we feel about blogging, having a blog, for example, on your Shopify website where you're also selling products for sale? And
great question.
I would say that when it comes to blogging, if it's on your site, that's good. You can have
Yeah,
it in various versions on other sites if you wanted to, but remember the goal is to always get people to come back to your
totally.
space, your website, your community, whatever it is that's yours, because that's where you want people to hang out. You want them to be able to come back to you and see all of your things that
Yeah.
you're offering versus sending them, let's say, to
Mhm.
Facebook where they're going to get lost in the shuffle.
Totally. Totally. And I think it's great too because naturally, when people are curious, like I'm a super inquisitive person. So if I wind up on your website and maybe I'm reading a blog post, I might read something and then I'm like, who are these people? And then I want to go to your about section, right? So I'm a big fan, like Ed's saying, of throwing it all in one place because then it gets to be a one stop shop for learning all about you and the products and services that you offer, right? And so
Yes.
now you can see the full glimpse. But if I want more of you, I've got more blog posts there versus leveraging something. And Ed, you bring up a great point about Facebook because you can actually repurpose your blogs on Facebook, right? You can share them as a Facebook post. You could relink your blog. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can leverage it to where it becomes multifaceted and in multiple places. But I definitely think having it on one spot allows for people more exposure to you at once, right? Because what if I read your one blog and then I'm like, gosh, that was good. I want more. Like I find myself
Right.
doing that on TikTok, right?
Yep.
90% of the people I follow on TikTok, now I don't spend a ton of time on TikTok, but when I do, I will find one person and be like, I really liked that. And then we'll go to their page and want more. And that's what I think
Right.
of when I think of blogging. So maybe I see your product and I go to your website and might want more. I might want,
Right.
how did we get here? What did we do? Like, why are you
Well,
passionate about this?
yeah, and the thing too is, and then we'll move on to number two. But the thing is that when you are on your site blogging, and if you sell a product or service and you link to it,
Mhm.
well, now this is kind of going down a little rabbit hole, but I just want to share this with you, is that you're driving traffic to your site, they get to one post, then they move to something else. And
Mhm.
if it's all on your site, you have this beautiful thing called Google Analytics,
Yep.
which you all should have on your website. If you don't, contact your web person, but have that on there because that's the information that you're going to get for
Mhm.
free to see the customer journey. And like
Yeah.
Amanda said, she started on a blog post, but then she went to your about page, and then maybe
Mhm.
she went to your store. So you'd be able to see
Yeah.
all of that happen right there on your site. That's the beauty of it.
Well, and
Um,
it's a good touch too
yeah,
for the people you don't know. Like it's a great touch to give them your words, your exposure, all of that.
exactly. And that's going to tie into number two, which is email marketing. So, how many of you know that this is an opportunity for yourself and
Mhm.
your business? Like, raise your hand. You can do it right there, wherever you're sitting. You just
I'll
put your
raise my
hand up,
hand.
even if you're on the train. Like, it's one of those things that you want to make sure that email marketing you're embracing because it is and it has been and it's going to
Mhm.
continue to be such a great marketing tool for your business, and it's going to be a way to allow people, it's similar to almost like your website where you're trying to drive
Yeah.
traffic back to that spot so that you can have conversations with people. It's not go follow me on Instagram.
Mhm.
Listen, followers are great. Sure. Yes, follow us on whatever social platform. Let's connect. Let's do all the things. Okay. But at the end of the day, I would much rather have you on my email list where you and
Totally.
I can really have a conversation and you can really stay up to date with what's going on and
Mhm.
not miss anything versus just following me casually on social and maybe once or twice you'll see some information and maybe you'll actually connect with me over there.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and when you have their email
mhm,
or any piece of contact information for that matter, this is why agents, you need a database, right? Because when you have that, you have more of an ability to connect with them in multiple ways. So it
yeah,
goes beyond just, okay, I'm relying on my social media marketing to do the job for me. If you're just
yes,
simply a follower, that's it. Right? I'm just purely hoping that my marketing is enough to get you to want to click on my website or ask me for a consultation or anything. And in today's world where there's so much available to us, that's just simply not enough. And so having their email and doing email marketing allows for really your business to work in the background, right? You can set up automatic drip campaigns to where it feels authentic to you, right?
Yeah.
Ed does a great job at this in his weekly newsletter where it feels authentic to him, everything
Yeah.
he promotes, and yet I'm getting an email marketing touch that reminds me, hey, Ed's in video marketing. Like
Yep.
if you need help with video, call Ed, right? And so
Yeah.
once a week, sometimes twice a week, I get an email from Ed from his marketing platform, right? I might not always read them or read all of them, but I still
Right.
see Ed's name and it's a trigger, right? And so that brings up a great point. Don't judge it. Don't
Yeah.
judge, pay attention to what's working, but don't just, okay, only 2 people clicked on my email. So clearly this doesn't work. It takes time to really build that, but having your email or having someone's email allows for you, like Ed saying, higher level engagement because now you can connect with them on an ongoing basis. In addition to your social media, where now their reticular activator goes off. They see Ed's
Yes.
email and then they see Ed's posts. And then now it's like, you know what? You're right, universe. I do need video coaching.
And that's the key. So we have to remember when we're thinking about all the things that we're doing, it doesn't matter what state of mind we're in terms of, I need a sale right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. What matters is our consistency in how
Mhm.
we show up, how we deliver, and how we engage with our people, our audience,
Totally.
our community, because that's what's going to build those relationships over time and get people to keep coming back for us. I mean, whether you're brick and mortar, service based, or like we're talking about real estate agents as well, think about how often does the average person invest in a home or
Yeah.
invest in your program or invest in buying, uh, there's a neighbor was talking about their compost bin, like getting a new one for the kitchen
Yeah.
because the free one was just really ugly and it broke right away. And so they were happy that they invested the $30 for it because they really want to make it work. Like not everyone is going to be doing that the day that you send the
Mhm.
sale out or the day that you
Totally.
send that post out. So we have to remember that we're doing the work
Mhm.
to make sure that we stay top of mind so that when the other person is ready, they're going to remember us and remember to have that conversation with us because we know, here's the big one, conversations lead to conversions.
Totally. Totally.
That's what we have to remember. So keep doing the work, keep testing, and keep driving traffic back to areas that you are more in control, which is your website. And in this case,
Mhm.
number two was email marketing.
Well, and as you say, conversations, I think it's important to note these are real conversations. Like,
Mhm.
I don't mean to knock multi-level marketing, but my concern, I guess, with that level of marketing to people is it's not a real conversation if you don't know them or you're not engaging with them and you're just blasting. Like I had this happen this week. I had a real estate broker who clearly didn't look at my page because otherwise they would have known I was a licensed agent myself,
Yeah.
asked me if I was wanting to buy, sell, or invest. Now, this happens all the time, right? And my point in it is these people don't take the time to get to know me. And so it's not a real conversation. It's just spam, right? And I can tell that because you didn't see that. But when it's a real conversation and you show up real to you and you deliver and you engage and all the things that we keep pressing, that's when
Yep.
those conversions can really happen. And so we're just giving you guys the tools and the channels in which you can allow for those real conversations to happen and
Yes.
happen organically, really.
Yeah. And the thing too is when we're talking about being real and being authentic,
Mhm.
I just saw someone on TikTok, they were talking about why filming in the car is so captivating and so popular is because it feels like you
Mhm.
pulled over, hopefully, and you had to tell us something. It was important
Yeah,
enough for you to stop what you're doing in your day, pull out your phone and record and not care about being camera ready and having the hair,
totally,
makeup, and all the things done. And that's what people want to see. That's why we talk about video so much. That's why we talk about just sharing who you are, what you do, and why you do it, because that builds that know like trust factor. And that's what's going to get people to want to work with you, not having an Instagram
totally.
picture perfect lifestyle feed, perfectly
Yeah.
curated feed.
Well, and they don't even need to know you for like,
Right.
I think that's the cool thing is there's been people that, have sold products or whatever that I've never met with, but because of their realness, they've drawn me in. Right now I'm like, you feel like a friend to me because you show up in the same way, you're consistent and you're you. And so I
Yes.
feel like I can trust that. And so now this product that you're selling is just a byproduct. You know, it's
Yes.
me
Exactly.
me buying it is just a byproduct of you showing up consistently.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Number 3. What do we got, Amanda?
One of my favorites,
Oh,
Pinterest.
Pinterest. Oh, okay. So why Pinterest? Why is it your favorite? Let's talk about this because I feel
Well,
like
I
this is an
personally love
interesting one.
Pinterest because I just think it's really easy to scroll through at night. You know, there's not a lot of like mumbo jumbo in the middle, right? I don't have to read people's words. I can just be like, I like that picture. I like that picture. I can categorize things. But what I love about Pinterest is the multi-purpose that you can like you always talk about, Ed, repurposing your videos, repurposing your blog posts, all of that. That's what I love Pinterest for, is because you can really allow Pinterest to work for you if you do it right, because you
Yes.
can link all of these things, which thus leads them back to your website, which thus gets lead capture, right? And so there's a lot of, now I will say it takes some time to set this up. Not some time, it takes time. It's not a lot, but you have to do it well and you have to do it consistently. And that's really how you get the Pinterest algorithm to work for you. But if you get really good at, hey, I made a TikTok video, let me put it on my Instagram, let me put it on my Pinterest, let me put it on my Facebook, right? I made a blog post, let me do all the same steps. Right now you're in multiple channels and these
Mhm.
multiple channels start working for you.
Yes. Oh, that is so good. Okay, so how many of you are trying to do this whole TikTok thing this year? Because TikTok is taking over, whether you like it or
Yeah.
not. And you don't have to dance, although if you're a good dancer and you
But you
want
should
to,
dance. You should
yeah, go
dance.
for it. But you don't have to. And I want you to think about this. We're sharing all this information and you're going to be taking a ton of notes and you're going to be thinking, this is awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my head's exploding. I got so much to do. Now you're telling me to be on this channel and that channel. Breathe. We're giving you the information.
Mhm.
You're taking your notes. You're going to then spend a few minutes to prioritize what's going to work for you and your business. And then you're going to start to implement at least one of these channels and do it consistently so that way you can move on to adding in another one.
Mhm.
That's your plan, okay? So now that we know the plan part, now we got to make sure to talk about the strategy here. So if you're using TikTok, I want you to understand that now you could have a TikTok first approach,
Mhm.
which, let's be honest, it's really a video first approach, which is my favorite. One way or another, I'm going to get you to do video, and it's going to be part of. By the way, I haven't shared this yet on the show or a whole lot publicly. So all of you tuning in, you're getting a big preview here. When you start creating video for your business, I want you to start not only sharing it online, but include that hashtag video positivity. When you do, you're going to be part of the hashtag video positivity movement. I'll go ahead and pop that link in the chat for you just so you can see what that's all about. But it's my movement to help us promote video and have more positivity around it, because I want us all to shine more here online. I want us all to embrace video and be able to connect with our audience and let it help us be seen and heard more here online. So you can check that out later, not now. Back to the TikTok part. So video first approach, which is going to lead to all the other things we talked about. So you got your video first. Then if you're doing TikTok, you're creating your TikToks. And then from there, you can take that TikTok video and, like we said, for number 3, go to Pinterest and
Yep.
pin it as an idea pin, a
Yeah.
special idea pin, and that can help you drive more traffic back to your website. You see how we did that? Or to your email list. So number
Totally.
1 was blogging, number 2 was email list, number 3 was Pinterest, and then this was just a little bonus to the Pinterest part to help you with your planning there.
Totally.
And before we give you number 4, we'll 4 is the bonus here. Second bonus, I guess. Make sure that you are thinking about what's your strategy when you go first. So like
Yeah.
I said, video first should be your strategy. But if you're a blogger and you love to write, make that your starting point. And then, like Amanda said, it goes to your blog. but then you can put it onto Pinterest, but then you can create a video for TikTok
Mhm.
that links them back to that blog post that
Totally.
then you shared in your email newsletter.
Totally. This is all about getting people on the right platforms that you want them in. I thought of this recently. I watched a TikTok video, and these people have been, they blew up on TikTok, right? They're this cute little young couple, and I don't know, I just adore them. They're so sweet and precious. And they found out they were having a baby. Well, of course,
Wow.
they wanted to include their TikTok family on the gender reveal, but they posted probably like 10 videos, maybe not that many. It felt like that many because I wanted to know the gender. I was involved,
Yeah.
and they posted here's us finding it out, but you don't get to hear it, and here's us telling our family, but you don't, and they built it up. And then finally they said, here's the day, find out what baby Howard is, go to this, go to our YouTube. And then they put it to their YouTube, but then they circled on their YouTube back to their website. And so it was so brilliant because I was like, I watched a TikTok video, but it didn't tell me the gender, and so they told me to go to their YouTube video. So I was like, I'm involved now. Now I need to know the gender. So I went to their YouTube and watched their YouTube, found out the gender, but because of that, it took me offsite to their website. And this is all of what we're talking about, right? If you do it well, you'll be able
Yeah.
to get all of this in one. And hey, if you don't want to create a ton of content, I still think you should create your own, but you can also pin a bunch of stuff in boards on Pinterest that
Yeah.
are unique to your industry. Like real estate agents, you can do a bunch with like home staging and how to prepare
Yeah.
your listing and all of those types of things that become value for the people you're trying to reach, that you're not having to create that. And then you can create on top of that. So don't hear all of this and go, oh my gosh, now I need to budget 10 hours a week into
Right.
video creation and video marketing because now I have to put it across multiple channels.
Yeah.
Do what I do. I mean, my Pinterest is more my personal stuff, but literally late at night, I'm just scrolling. That's my mindless time to just unwind, right? And I go pin all the stuff that makes my little heart happy. And now I've got all these boards that people I don't even know are finding and sharing, right? It's really
Yeah.
cool. So you can leverage all of these things in a way that works together.
And that I love that you also bring up, what we talk about all the time is time management. And
Yeah.
you have a designated time in the day for that endless scrolling. And it's one of those things that we have to remember. We can use that time to be more productive and
Yeah.
to still not really work, but work a little bit, right? And make
Totally.
it fun. And you can use a Pinterest board for inspiration on what videos you want to create. And then you
Totally.
set a day and time to create those videos. I
Yeah.
don't care if they're 30 seconds, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is for you and your business, like, but get it done and be able to work on that little bit at a time. And you'll see a huge, huge change in
Yeah.
your business and how you operate in your business as well.
Totally. And you can just set a goal. Maybe it's one video a week. Start there. Totally fine. It doesn't have to, if you're anything like me, you hear all of this and you want to make all the changes at once and you're like, okay, I'm going to start pumping out 10 videos a week. And then
Yeah.
you set yourself up for failure, right? Because nobody can achieve that. So time
Yes.
block it and say, you know what? Every Friday at noon, I'm going to pump out 2 videos that are going to go for my next week. Easy peasy.
Exactly. And that's a big one. And, when you're thinking about your content, you're probably getting hung up on, is this valuable? Am I selling
Yeah.
too salesy? Is this people going to like this? Does this even matter? When you start getting into that frame of mind, one, you're overthinking it.
Hmm.
Two, you have to remember you are the expert in what you
Yeah.
do. And if you're passionate about what you do, you're going to share it no matter what. And so
Totally.
it's not going to come off salesy. Like many of you may or may not know, I have a 30-day accelerator program for
Yeah.
video coaching. This is literally what I teach my clients. And I love it because it allows them to go from thinking about it to
Mhm.
actually doing it and doing it in an easy to manage way and having fun with it too. Because as we
Totally.
shared, there's lots of things that happen or should happen or could happen that's overwhelming,
Yeah.
not to mention the tech that's involved and everything. And so then you start going from the high down to the low because your
Yep.
shoulders are getting weight on top of them. And now you need something to remove that weight.
Yeah.
So you start looking for programs that are going to help you with that, whether it's video or client care services or anything that you're looking for in your business. And that's something that if you were on my email list, you would have gotten on Sunday about what are you preparing for Q2?
Yeah.
Because Q2 is around the corner. And it's really, really important to ask yourself, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? And who can help you get there? What are you going to say yes to? And what are you going to say no to in Q2? And hopefully it's having the right people in your corner.
Yeah.
Having that coach who's going to help you with setting up a system to touch with your clients if you're in real estate. Video would be me. If you have somebody else that you need, well, accountant, or you're trying to get your taxes in order for the next year, whatever it is, I want you to make sure that you write it down and you ask yourself, who are the people that are in your corner that you could reach out to ask for help? Because Q2 is your time. Make it happen.
Totally. And just one quick note on that, because someone had to tell me this recently. Just because it feels like common sense to you doesn't mean it's common sense to everyone. I had this, and I may have already shared this here, I don't know, but I was leading our Closer Pros team meeting, and I wanted to talk about client care services and how our teammates could view their clientele as clients that they wanted to nurture. But in my head, that felt like such common knowledge, right? I'm like, everybody knows this, so why would I bring this to the team? And I shared that with one of our teammates, and her response struck me, where I was like, this is why people get in their heads about it. Because she was like, it's common sense to you because it's what you do, but it's not common sense to the rest of us. And I was like, aha. So all of you out there who are like, do people really care about this? Is this video valuable? That's what I would say to you is you might think cooking comes really naturally. And so why would people want your recipes? Well, guess what? People like me, it doesn't come naturally too. And so we're really thankful for people like you. Video marketing comes super naturally to Ed. It doesn't to some of the rest of us. And so we're super thankful that he shares that gift with us, right? And so don't get too in your head about that, whether it's on Pinterest or blogging or email marketing. If it feels easy to you, it doesn't automatically mean it's easy to everybody else and that everybody knows it. It's still a value to somebody, and it's still going to make a difference in someone's world. And so it's still worth sharing.
Yes, exactly. That is the key. And before we wrap up here, I want to give everyone another bonus tip here. I know we covered a lot. So before we get into that bonus, let's just do a quick recap of what we talked about today. So the 3 underrated marketing channels to grow your business in 2022 is number 1, Amanda.
Blogging.
Yes. So you want to start blogging. That can look different for everyone, but that is a channel that you can tap into. Number 2 is email marketing. I don't care what your business is, you better be doing this. If you haven't started, today is the day that you start. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I want you to start. Number 3, Amanda, is what?
It is Pinterest.
Yes.
I must give away the bonus.
Yeah. Use Pinterest to help you come up with ideas for your blog, for your email, for your videos, for your TikToks, whatever it is that you're working on. And then also use it as a way to drive traffic back to your site. And now this bonus one, this 4th one, is a big one because chances are you're not doing it. And you may or may not have heard of it being so underrated, but I want you to really embrace it here in 2022. And it's going to be LinkedIn.
Yep.
Use LinkedIn to network. I cannot tell you how many amazing people I have been able to meet, as well as have real conversations on LinkedIn compared to any other channel. It's been fantastic. And I know Amanda and I have even talked about this for LinkedIn and stepping up, using LinkedIn more here in 2022 for her and her business.
Yeah.
It's a platform that we've all known about, that it's there. We probably have a presence on there in terms of you have an actual profile, but when was the last time you updated it? When is the last time that you started to use it to connect with people?
Totally.
And see what's going on that channel.
Well, and this happened to me recently. Ed was like, are you on LinkedIn? And I was like, yeah, we're connected on there. And he was like, you might want to go check it. You're tagged in a bunch of comments. And I was like, oh crap. And I went and I had a bunch of comments and connections and conversations and people who were adding me, all real estate agents that I've just completely neglected by not leveraging that channel. Right. And so another key point in that is don't just dip out of it. Doesn't mean you have to check it every day or all the time, all day, every day, but don't just have it and not leverage it, because then it's worthless. Right. So I
Yes.
am committing in 2022 to leverage LinkedIn at a higher level.
And she just made that public here for everyone to hear too.
So if
So
you don't see me, go tag me on LinkedIn and we'll see how quickly I get to it.
yes, exactly. All right. So those were your three plus a lot of bonuses for
Yeah.
your underrated marketing channels here to grow in 2022. Again, if you want to reach out to either one of us, you have our details below. And you can also check out the show page to learn more about the show, share any tips, feedback you have for us. And until next time, we'll see you guys all next Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific, right back here
Woohoo.
on the channel that you're listening to us on. Take care, everyone.
See ya. Have a good week.